I'm Chris Claysmith, and this speech is for Flex CTA 103. Here's my audience. Every year, the CDC notes over 40,000 Americans lose their lives to gun violence, with many incidents involving firearms obtained without proper background checks. Today I'll explain why universal background checks are necessary to close dangerous loopholes, protect lives, and support responsible gun ownership. As someone who has researched this topic thoroughly, including data from leading policy organizations, I am well versed in the facts surrounding this issue. Gun violence affects all of us, whether directly or indirectly. According to my audience analysis, more than half of you are unfamiliar with local gun laws and restrictions. Today I'll help clarify some of those issues at hand, like universal background checks. By supporting common sense policies like these, we can work toward a safer future while respecting individual rights. First, I'll show why there's an urgent need for universal background checks. Second, I'll explain how this solution addresses the issue of gun violence. Finally, I'll help you envision a safer future and share how you can take action to support this change. Let's look at the need for change by examining the flaws in the current system. The current background check system has significant loopholes that allow dangerous individuals to acquire firearms without proper vetting. One of these loopholes is called the private sales loophole. Background checks are only required for purchases from licensed dealers. This doesn't include private sales, online purchases, or gun shows. According to the Brady campaign, nearly 1 in 5 gun sales occur without a background check. So what consequences are there for states that avoid implementing background checks? Let's look at some of the case studies. For example, as the Giffords Law Center report in 2022 noted, the 2019 Midland, Odessa shooter obtained a gun through a private sale without a background check. This tragedy, which killed 7 people, might have been prevented. These flaws allow dangerous individuals to bypass safeguards, posing a direct threat to public safety. Now that we've seen the need for universal background checks, let's discuss how this policy provides an effective solution. So next I'll explain how background checks effectively reduce gun violence. Universal background checks close critical loopholes and ensure that firearms don't fall into the hands of dangerous individuals. Many would argue that enforcing the laws that we currently have and closing the loopholes to violent offenders is all we need to do, and I wouldn't disagree. Let's look at how the national statistics stack up when background checks are enacted. A RAND Corporation study in 2021 has shown a link between universal background checks and reduced gun violence. States with these laws see a 15% lower firearm homicide rate. So how about some real-world examples? After Connecticut implemented universal background checks, a Johns Hopkins University study in 2015 noted that homicides dropped by 40%. Additionally, countries like Australia and Canada have strict background checks and far lower gun violence rates. Their success demonstrates how common sense policies save lives. Universal background checks work in the US and abroad to prevent firearm from falling into dangerous hands. While background checks can't catch everyone or everything, there are other measures which can help. My audience analysis indicated that all had concerns over those with mental health issues, and to ensure that those individuals don't end up with firearms. One law in particular, called the Red Flag Law, is focused on the mental health aspect of gun violence. Only enacted to date in 21 states and Washington, D.C., This law is also known as an extreme risk protection order, which aims to remove guns from the hands of those who may be struggling with mental health issues. The red flag law, coupled with universal background checks, could help save thousands. Now that we've seen how universal background checks work, let's imagine what a safer future could look like with these policies in place. We'll explore how universal background checks balance safety while respecting the rights of gun owners. Universal background checks focus on preventing dangerous individuals from obtaining firearms while supporting reasonable gun ownership. Background checks are heavily favored across the U.S. A Gallup poll shows that 88% of Americans, including gun owners, support background checks. These measures ensure responsible gun ownership, aligning with the principles of the Second Amendment. The opposition often focuses on fears of government overreach, but the data refutes this. The NRA argues that universal checks to firearms lead to firearm registries and tracking of abiding gun owners. Federal law explicitly prohibits National Gun Registry maintaining privacy for gun owners. Universal background checks respect the rights of responsible gun owners while enhancing public safety, ensuring that we target dangerous individuals and not law-abiding citizens. By respecting the individual rights and focusing on public safety, universal background checks strike the right balance. So to close, I'll recap the main points and leave you with a call to action. We've explored the flaws in the current system, the effectiveness of universal background checks, and the vision of a safer future that they can create. You can make a difference by supporting universal background legislation, contacting your representatives, and spreading awareness about the issue. Together, we can make this common sense step to protect lives and ensure a safer society for everyone. This isn't just about laws, it's about lives. Together, we have the power to use common sense to make our society safer and ensure that gun violence becomes a thing of the past. Thank you.